Well, good morning and welcome back up to Blackrock in Portrush. One of those mornings where don't think it's going to happen, and it was kind of always against me. By 10 o'clock last night there was a pretty short, sharp weather system that moved through, and there was the potential promise that it was going to clear out sort of in and around sunrise this morning. And while it has cleared out overhead, there's obviously the remnants of that short, sharp storm sort of covering over any sunrise colour this morning, so we're just not getting any kind of light whatsoever. Now, my one sort of hope is that post sunrise, it's about 10 to 5 now, so the sun is kind of rising, that the sun may find a break in those clouds, and we might get a little bit of light on the foreground here, but not holding out a huge amount of hope. But hey, don't buy a lottery ticket and all that. It's beautiful up here again though. I've said it before, I love listening to the filmers chatter away on the wind and on their nests. All rather nice. Right, let's see whether we're going to get any light. What do you think? Are you a betting person? Still no gaps in those clouds, so I think by the time that sun shows itself it might be a little bit too harsh, but we'll see. So actually, just while I'm waiting, I've been doing a bit of a pano. There is actually some nice, just that lovely, it's be the blue hour right now, but there's just some lovely sort of silvery light going on. So, and actually just behind me here, this little outcrop. Since I moved to Portrush, I've been doing a little mini project on that old Nessie. I think at times it looks like almost a bit of a Loch Ness monster-esque. So I've been actually taking lots of images off this little crop of land, and I don't think I've actually got one from up here before. Most of them have been down on the beach. So my panoramic kind of sweeps and sort of takes in the little Nessie. So it's a shame actually, because given the fact that storm was moving through, that's always a great time to be out shooting, on the edges of those weather systems, and there was some beautiful cloud up there, but it just was never going to take on any kind of light. But yeah, I think what's going to happen is the sun's not going to break through anything close on the horizon, and instead it's probably not going to break through for a good hour or so, at which point it's probably going to be a little bit too harsh. So right, I'm going to carry on playing here, maybe do another couple of panoramics while I'm at it. Enough said. That sun a little bit earlier than I thought, so we might still get just a little bit of soft light. Now I'm hoping that as it comes up through the darker bank of clouds, that there's maybe a little bit of diffusion at the top of those clouds, which is quite often as there is, because that'll just soften it a little bit, and we do still have some interest. Yeah, here it comes. Right, best to put you down and get back to this. Well, that's not frustrating at all. So we had about 30 seconds of light, maybe a little bit more, maybe about a minute of light, and I kind of wanted to get that pano And so I did my usual, kind of got my focus locked in, manual focus, manual everything. And for some reason, it kept jumping focus, even though it was on manual focus. And it ended up, by the time the camera decided to play ball, it was gone. The light was gone. Frustrating. Anyway, I've brought myself along a little bit. The sun is, as you can see, kind of back in through some diffused cloud, and there is a lot more cloud now above, so that may have been our one opportunity. I did manage to grab one image, not a pano, just a horizontal, but so frustrating. I don't know what was going on there. It just wouldn't focus. It, not that it wouldn't focus. I had it on manual focus. I'd locked in the focus, but every time I hit the shutter, it jumped focus, and obviously then it was completely out of focus. Anyway, won't let it ruin my morning much. Right, that light's actually not too bad at the moment, so I've got myself set up again for a little sort of pano. Now, what I've got to be very careful of is, as I think I mentioned last time I was up here, all that thrift now is well and truly gone. And so I'm trying to pick areas of the landscape that don't have a huge amount of that thrift there, because it's not that pretty looking. Right, see whether we can get a panoramic that actually does what it's supposed to do. Well, I think that's the morning over. Yeah, light was okay. And obviously we had our little technical faux pas, which is frustrating. Again, I'm going to keep saying this here, one of the wonderful things about shooting local is you can kind of say, okay, there's a few things that might work up here from a composition point of view, and all I think we would have needed was just a little bit of a gap on the horizon at sunrise, and those clouds above would have taken on some lovely colour. So one of the things I was sort of trying out was something that reminded me of our time up at Hermaness in Shetland. Phenomenal gannet colony. I don't know how many pairs, several thousand, 20,000 or something pairs. Incredible. We had some wonderful evenings up there, and I got a couple of images that I quite liked, the sort of a slightly longer shutter speed, showing all the gannets sort of flying this way and that. Now there's nowhere near enough birds down there to sort of really make that work, but it just reminded me of that, so I'll throw one of those images up from Hermaness as well. Right, well, I'm going to head back home. We're actually fostering a dog at the moment, so it's waiting for a new home. Can't put any details up on social media, so but yeah, so I'm going to go back and take the dog for a morning bimble. Said it once, I'll say it again, irrespective of the image, you can't beat just getting out and about. Good for the soul. Right guys, until next time, take care, bye bye.